What if you could go back in time and have a do-over? Knowing what you know now, what would you do differently? Now, we haven't figured out how to time travel yet, but this is our do-over. Join us as we take our second lap around the South Island. It's our most ambitious and epic trip yet. Join us today as we live on the edge and roll with the punches. It's kind of what you do here in New Zealand. We struggle to find a gas station and roll into a freedom campsite that may or may not have a place for us. Okay. Good morning. Good morning. We just stayed the night at Waituhi. I think that's how you pronounce it, viewpoint. We've stayed here before. It's not bad. It's just a little bit of a parking lot and a viewing platform. We can't see Mount Ruapehu today. It's kind of cloudy. Who had their first night in the van, Hallie?
Me!
It wasn't your first night. Whose first night was it?
Henry.
It wasn't Henry's first night. Whose first night was it in the van? Kitty's. It was Kitty's first night in the van. How did Kitty do?
I got
Good. So we drove. Henry says it's Turtle's first day in the van too. We drove about 3.5 or so hours last night. And today we've got, what, 4.5-ish hours or so? So we're approaching a town here. We're hoping there's some petrol. Okay, it doesn't look like there's much here. We're running low on gas. We drove last night. We were driving really late last night and there weren't many gas stations open. I think we drove for a good 2.5 hours. Very limited petrol stations, and now we're kind of in the middle of nowhere. Still no petrol stations. So let's hope we find one. You got your running shoes? Did you pack them in case we run out of gas? Good news, Chris. I found us a gas station. 34 minutes. Can we make it 34 minutes? Gas stations in New Zealand are not like the US. Here, you sometimes go long stretches without finding a station. Also, most are closed at nighttime.
Good news, we made it to a gas station. It was closer than the one Google said, so we didn't have to drive 30 minutes. We had to drive maybe 10, which was good. So nobody had to run to get gas, did they?
We picked up some beef mince before we left, and it makes for a good roadside meal. We got tacos and nachos. We had a good nacho burrito lunch, and now we're heading off again. We have about 3 hours left of driving. Let's see if we can do that without stopping. We'll see. Typically, if you're driving all the way down to Wellington from Auckland, you're going to want to stop along the way at some of the top attractions. But for us, we're in a hurry to get down so we could explore Wellington before our ferry. A good piece of advice for you when taking the ferry between islands: book your tickets way in advance. The closer you are to the date, the more expensive they get. We are about 30 minutes away from arriving at the Freedom Campsite for the night down here in Wellington. There's not too many Freedom campsites or even cheaper DOC campsites down in Wellington, but we're gonna try to stay at this one down here. It looked like it had the most spots, but the crazy thing is it updates and tells you how many campsites are available, and it says there's 0 out of 16. So, but we've seen the number fluctuate up and down over the last couple hours, so we're hoping we can find something. We use the app called Campermate to find our Freedom campsites. Alright, made it to Wellington. Ohiro Bay, I think that's how you pronounce it. Might be wrong, but the Campermate app said that there's 16 campsites, but they were all full. We got here and they were full, but thankfully it was just some of them had cars in, so we just had to wait for a car to leave so we could have a spot. But it's only 3:30 and there's camper vans lining up for other spots, so I think it's definitely a place that fills up quick. Wellington was definitely living up to its nickname, Windy Wellington. The wind was quite strong. So this Freedom campsite is pretty awesome, maybe even one of the best in the North Island. It's right on the water with beautiful views. The kids had a blast playing on the rocks and they found little tunnels and caves. It was like a nice natural playground for them. And to add to this campsite's awesomeness, there's a walk you can do along the shoreline that's supposed to be pretty cool. We're gonna go check it out next. We're doing a little walk. We're gonna see if we can make it to the Red Rocks. We're south of Wellington. We may or may not make it. We'll kind of see how the kids are doing.
You know, I think we could put together a raft and go to the South Island a day early.
Although the track is beautiful, it's not quite ideal with kids. You share the track with four-wheel drive vehicles. They sometimes fly through pretty fast and kick up a bit of rocks and dirt. You have to make sure to get out of the way. Henry brought his turtle along for the ride. This is an 8K hike. We're maybe getting close to 2K. Kids are ready to turn around now. Kobe fell, I fell. I don't know how's Henry doing. Henry's tired. So we're gonna kind of see how far we decide to make it. It's taken us 30 minutes for a mile. Could you imagine driving over this? Holy moly.
We need a really good off-roading.
Wow. So it's a little confusing. The Red Rocks were like partway out on the trail, and then the seal colony that's not here right now because they're out at sea is farther down, and I think we made it to the farther down spot where the seal colony is, so I think we missed the Red Rocks. But it was really cool. I think we're going to start heading back right now. The boys were not ready to head back because they wanted to do what they do best, which is climb around and explore. I'm panicking a little bit because Hobie's climbing really high. Let me show you. Hobie, don't go any higher. You guys make me so nervous. Okay, Hobie, no farther up. Hobie? The boys apparently think they're Spider-Man and they can climb up walls. And then here's Hallie, trying to keep up with her brothers. The cool thing about our kids is the world is a playground for them. We come to places and they just climb and explore and play and have such a great time just being kids. No toys needed. I love it. Problem is the boys are really good at climbing and go high and far, and then their little sister tries to follow along. Alright, mission accomplished. Mission slightly over accomplished because we went past the Red Rocks, right, Hobie?
Yeah.
Went past the Red Rocks.
I was trying to tell you they were just over there.
That's okay, you found a cool climbing spot, didn't you? Alright, so yeah, we're gonna head back to the van You got a good 4K? Some yellow rocks? Yeah. Alright, these are the red rocks that we missed on the way here. They look a little bit more red from this angle. Hobie knew they were the red rocks all along. He tried telling me this is the red rocks and I didn't listen to him. But hey, we got a little bit more exercise. I think it's going to be, what, 8K by the time we get back? I'm done carrying 32 pounds on my back. It's time for Hallie to hike. You ready, girl? Okay. Good job, girl. Oh, she's even carrying her kitty. Your feet are hurting already. You haven't walked for very long, Hallie. Alright, well let's see if we can get back to the van, okay? Alright, Henry, we're almost back. There's Bongo. Uh-oh. You are in my shadow.
Join us next time as we take you to some of the coolest spots in Wellington. Special shout out to Patty Doyle. Thank you for commenting. That's right, Patty Doyle commented on one of our videos. If you don't know who he is, check him out. He's a way better YouTuber than us. Thank you everyone for watching. We're so excited to share the South Island with you. Subscribe so we can take you on our journey. We have some incredible adventures to come.